What is going on, everyone? My name's Boyd and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color, playing as Zeus. His name is Bubez. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Oranos. His name is Skady. The map is Marsh, and this is a best of seven show match. The old Sunday showdown started way back in 2012 by Army Corps is being continued. The tradition stands strong. The main dude behind it is Trust, and I think we all owe him a big thank you for making these happen. Going to be a very exciting game between these two. Both players have been playing some extremely strong Age of Mythology in the recent weeks, really showing the power of their respective gods and what they can do. Zeus versus Oranos on Marsh, very interesting decision for specifically Bubez, because he's known to be more of a Poseidon player, but I guess perhaps maybe he feels Marsh is a bit stronger of a Zeus map. You can get into some Athena style here, some 2-town center Athena style, even 1-town center Athena. Minotaur Hoplite rushes are really strong against Oranos, so we'll see what he can do to defend against that. The Oranos, on the other hand, has had some really interesting developments. Not really recently, I guess not, but lots of really interesting timings for town center grabs. Really getting into cutting down on building too many Terma. Definitely Green Sea Squash has been pioneering like the max 10 Terma strategy. Just because they fall off so much and you don't want to overcommit to them, you can just transition into more Murmillo, cut the Terma out, get the town centers going. Thanks so much for the $5 Ghost Lake. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Let's get this started. We've got some relics on the map. The Scarab Pendant. Give yourself some extra damage versus building. Unfortunately, this is not going to be helping out the Hoplite Rush at all. We also have an Eye of Horus plus 2 town center population. A fairly big relic, in all honesty. Definite pickup there, giving yourself an extra potential 6 population of your opponent if we get to the 3 town center stage. Haven't found the 3rd relic yet on this map, but that's totally cool. I like that Bubez moved forward with his villages at the start of this game. Grabbing this forward hunt means that he can move back onto his, say, water buffalo or hippopotamus or deer that he finds. Very, very interesting here. And it doesn't slow his advance time down at all, because he doesn't slow down his villager production. It's just like a delay of initial resources coming in, and then he picks those back up later because his villagers would have had to move up this forward anyway. So we have tactical pause from Skady because he has someone at his door. So definitely spam in chat who you think's going to win this game. We've got a lot of Skady supporters, a lot of Bubez supporters. Bubez definitely the fan favorite. I've seen a lot of positive comments on the YouTubes about Bubez. He definitely plays this. He might play super solid every single game. We have found the 3rd relic as. Oh, wait, no, I tell a lie. I tell a lie. Yeah, very, very good. I guess we could talk a little bit about potential strategies here. Long term, a Zeus 2-town center Athena rush here is really strong. Zeus centaurs can be extremely strong as well here. Skady's back. Oranos, on the other hand, wants to be basically age jumping, get a Tartarian gate down on his opponent. There is some room for Satyr spam as well, which could be very, very interesting as well. But we are going to be seeing Prometheus. Nothing too out of the ordinary for Skady. 4:30 advance time, perfect on the dot. And we got Bubez grabbing his Jason out. And I'm sure he will be on his way to the next age very soon. There's the Hermes. Okay, so we're seeing Centaur from Bubez. Interesting decision, to say the very least. We'll see what he does with it, but generally speaking, Zeus players have been using the Centaur to mass them out, as we're seeing Oracles moving forward for Skady. They're awfully early. Whoa, Skady got up at 4 minutes. I totally saw that wrong. And the Oracles... That's so funny! He stuffed it up as well because it's supposed to say Dodd's Skady advanced. That's hilarious. Alright. Okay, now Skady advances. You actually see... That's so funny. Alright. Okay, so we were correct. 430 from Skady. Odysseus coming through. And the barracks, military barracks, counter barracks coming up for Skady as well. Solid memeing from Skady coming through. Miller coming through. The Odysseus is out for Bubez. With the Centaur starting to pump. He's only built one Centaur. It looks like he's saving resources to get his Sylvan Law. We do see the Promethean coming through. Does sneak right by the Centaur on the Odysseus. Bubez did not see that one. So he's going to be in for a little bit of a rude surprise when he walks around and starts hitting some of the Hunt villages. But the Hunt villages are all relatively close to the town cell. We do see a Valor coming through onto these units here. 2 Terma, 1 Murmillo. And the Jason has found the Eye of Horus. There's the Bridle of Pegasus as well. Now the unit's just going to chill on top of the Hunt until he needs to basically, until he feels comfortable that he can leave. Centaur going to be moving up to the top of the map. The Oracle will spot them running in, so we'll see if there's any sort of reaction to that. We do see some heroes moving up to the top of the map. A mana coming down for Skady to defend against that one. And now the Centaur moving forward. And there's the Centaur Polemark. Going to be retreating away. No problem there. And the Promethean onto the wood line. The hero is completely out of position. You're going to have to start fighting against these units over here. While the Promethean's going to be taking this one in, we do see the villager has made its way back to the town center. So no issue there. There's a little bit of harassment here. He can just jump onto the oak trees here if he wants to and let the town center take this out. Will take a little while because it does have 25% pierce armor. Now we do see the Centaurs making their way back home. More units moving in. These villagers probably will have to move on to the pigs for a little bit here. Unless Skady doesn't put the pressure on. We do see the Centaurs moving forward. We'll probably see a shockwave here. Going to be picking up at least one of these Centaur. We do see a bolt onto one of those Hero Murmillo. And the Murmillo and the Centaur will be retreating, as will the Jasons. One villager getting picked off there by the Promethean offspring. Both of those relics get dropped into the town center, and now Bubez trying to defend here. There's a lot of units though. While these Greek heroes do a lot of damage, the Murmillos are incredibly strong. And they will be able to pick these guys off. If you can tank just the Terma hits, you're going to be totally fine. Now they are Hippocon getting picked off here. Hero Terma going to be pushing these Hippocon back in, and now Bubez, he's going to be totally fine, but he has to move back onto the pigs, and he doesn't have husbandry, so it's a very slow process gathering from these pigs at this point. But he cannot move out until he gets more units here. I do see him running forward and back here. I'm not sure I like this. But if he could snipe units with the Centaur if he wanted to, but I feel like moving the Hippocon forward and back at this point is not the best idea. Maybe thinking about getting some watchtowers would be an okay idea as well, because Skady's managed to be completely fine in massing these units out. Odysseus tanking some more damage here. Pegasus does spawn for Bubez. You're going to be maybe using that to tank some stray hits from the Terma here, but no, going to be scouting that one out, treating it a little bit like a one population Raven. And sacrificing some more Hippocon, unfortunately. He does have a military academy down. We have the watchtowers is coming through. That's going to push Skady back for the time being. Oracle does get picked off. Population sitting at 60 to 91. So Skady is really ramped up here. He's grabbing the middle town center as well with a hero citizen. And we do see the scout is spotting this one. So Bubez knows the timing. He's going to spot that one. We do see some Centaur coming in, but it is a hero citizen, so no real issues there. The army has to move back and defend against this one. Centaur are going to be looking for a little bit of harass here. He may spot the water buffalo up here getting attacked, because he will be seeing the Centaur here, and maybe he sees them moving around in the fog of war or something. Villagers do jump into that manor there as the Centaur still dodging those arrows, trying to produce as many of them as he possibly can. Looking to make a move forward. Remember, this Odysseus was low HP from last fight. We have medium millers come through. Skady pushing the Centaur back, and that's allowing Bubez to make a little bit of a push into the middle of the map here. There's no heroes in this position at this point, so we will be able to get a couple of free hits from the Centaur for the time being. Oh, the Centaur does get sniped. Really nice attack there from Skady, getting that one picked off. We'll see if Bubez can get onto this citizen or not. And the hoplite retreating, a couple of Murmillo getting heroized right now. And the citizen getting pulled back for a second there, but back onto the town center. And Bubez going to have to retreat back to his base. Still producing from 2 military buildings. Getting a little bit slow on the Centaur production though, with only 2 villages on the favor. Could definitely do with a third one just to get those pumping out a little bit faster. Now Jason does fall. Feels bad, but he should be able to reproduce that one fairly instantly. We'll see where Bubez wants to go from here. Generally speaking, we see Greek players grab 3 town centers. I want to say you don't want to grab 3 town centers. Generally speaking, we see Greek players grab 3 town centers in this position. I think that it's better for Greek to just grab 2 town centers and not grab the third one. So grab your 4th town center like Bubez is doing here, and then try and race to the Mythic Age as fast as the Atlantean races to the Mythic Age off of 3 town centers. That way you're not chasing the tech, and then you can grab the town center a little bit later, catch back up on the resources, because you've got the Plenty Vault, which is basically worth the extra villages you get from that town center anyways. So it is a little bit of a ordering thing that could be a big deal. We do see this huge army from Skady attacking this stable here. He will be on his way to the Heroic Age fairly soon as well, because he's maxed supply. You can see his resources starting to come up there. A couple of villagers coming onto this town center as well as Skady is pressuring here. Not all the units are over here though for Bubez. He actually needs to build another stable at some point. You can check his wood situation. He can't afford that, so he needs to do that one there. Hoplites are getting picked off. This is some nice trades currently for Skady. He's trying at the very least to pick off these Centaur, but his heroes are not. They need to be targeting the Centaur or something like that. But all of the Murmillo, or not all the Murmillo, but most of the Murmillo have been dealt with, which makes this army very, very weak indeed. Like I said earlier, a big thing that Oranos players, or really top tier Oranos players, have been doing has been cutting the Terma, but we have been seeing Skady not cut them at all at this point. You cut the Terma and you go Heroic Age and you transition into Contarius has been the way to deal with this. And Contarius can kind of clean up the army, Contarius Murmillo kind of thing. Or even just stay Murmillo and build some Arcus as an option. But Bubez just going to be happy sitting 2 town centers defending for the time being. He hasn't really lost too much here. Oh, nice pick off on the top here, killing 2 citizens. That's really going to hurt Skady. That's like picking off 6 villages there. Absolutely brutal. Looks like Skady was getting a little bit antsy with his villages, getting very far out of position. That could be game changing right now. Skady is on 3 town centers now though, so we'll be able to get those back. But he wasn't full villages at all, so that's gonna hurt. And now Bubez throwing more military buildings up, still spamming those villages out. Just needs to get full supply, 134 supply here. Chuck walls down, that's going to be great. Prevent this town center from being grabbed. I'd love to see like an armory or a stable or a barracks just go on top of this town center just to make sure you can spot it at all times. We do see 2 population. I said 1 population before. 2 population Pegasus sitting here not doing anything, which is very, very upsetting. But he may be saving that there for an underworld passage later. So it should be totally fine. And he does have that relic to basically be free, and we do see the villagers making their way over here. Looks like they're just going for the hippopotamus though. I'd much prefer them to do that rather than grab this town center. Like I said, going to the Mythic Age sounds like a much better idea. Going for this fight here is not... I mean, it could work, but I would suggest that this is not what you want to be doing here, just because you need to get to the Mythic Age, and fighting here is what Skady wants, because he's sitting 3 town centers. It means he can swap out units efficiently to get more civilian units out. And this is really going to slow Bubez down right now. He dropped out to 97 population, and Skady's sitting at 145 population, so he won that battle really, really hard. Bubez's going to have to retreat now. He's kind of run out of hunt as well, and there's the Hyperion for Skady. Going to be following that up with a very fast Mythic Age here, I believe. Let's see what he's going to do. More Hoplite coming out for Bubez. And Bubez kind of has to keep building military units here, otherwise he's just going to get run over. We'll see where Skady's going with this. He is going to be building Satyr, so he's getting Gemino, and grabbing the Satyr out. So he's going for a Heroic Age push here, it looks like. Villagers moving forward, trying to sneak this hunt. That's a very risky maneuver, but I feel like he needs it. We do see some raids onto this gold mine. There's definitely better gold mines that he could have been at instead of that one. More units are over here though. A bunch of military buildings are going down for Bubez. We see a ceasefire, Apollo, coming through now for Bubez. Bunch of idle villagers are here. Bubez going to get them back to work fairly soon. We see some Centaur running around looking for some raids. Thank you so much for the host, Mapley. Appreciate that one, dude. We do have the units for Skady moving into the back of the base. Heavy infantry, fortified town centers coming through. Skady not opting for the super fast Mythic Age here. He wants to stay on the Heroic Age. I guess it's totally fine, but he's not. He's going to be making basically pure Mermillo at this point, I guess. Has he stopped making Terma yet? Yeah, he has stopped making Terma. Makes sense. There's the Apollo for Bubez. Huge raid about to hit Bubez's gold mine, and he's really out of position here. We see the chaos coming down as the Manticore moving over. Maybe able to deal with this one. Maybe the villagers can just turn around and fight them. Do we see a market of some description? No market just yet for Bubez. Villagers retreating. The villagers do opt to fight here, but these are heavy Mermillo. They're pretty brutal. The Manticore will be able to help push this away. The villagers are still chasing for the time being. How's the resource situation? Really low on the gold. If he didn't have that raid there, these villagers would have helped out immensely. Do we have to see a market or anywhere? No market for Bubez just yet. Still raiding with these Centaur, getting chased around by the Mermillo. The villagers are inside this town center. More army is coming in here. Heroes popping out. The heroes need to get onto these Satyr if they can. The hero Mermillo back onto these villagers, and Skady is making this push work. Nice shockwave to stop the villagers from repairing this. Hero Terma coming in to pick off these Manticore. Absolutely clutch, because these Manticore would really pick off all of the heavy Mermillo here. Villagers getting pushed off this gold mine. And Bubez feels like he is losing grip on this game. I'd love to see a palace of some description for Skady at this point. But it's looking like Bubez has held for the time being, and the villagers are still trying to fight here. You just need to send some units over into this location. He's losing so many villagers here, and Skady just can micro this back as much or as little as he wants. Now Bubez moving over onto this gold mine. He should be able to separate onto both of these gold mines. And the units moving back over here. One of those Mermillo have died. Both of the Terma here. And Bubez just sitting 2 town centers for the time being. Skady 160 population. But he doesn't have any destroyers here. That's the big problem. Get out some destroyers and you can make a push on this. But he just has decided to opt away from the palace in favor of all the Satyr. Could have just cut one Satyr, I reckon, and just gone for okay, it doesn't matter. Looks like Bubez's gonna tap out there. GG. Well played by Skady. I think this one just came down to this attack here. Bubez was in such a strong position. He had no reason to attack here. He had the ceasefire. Could have got to the Mythic Age at this time easily. Get the Plentyvolt down. Grab the town center. Go for late game Zeus. Myrmidon. You know, all the good things that late game Zeus has. I feel like it was a possibility here, but just a random attack here, just not in the game plan. Not in the game plan at all. GG by, well played by Skady though. Incredibly strong. Anyways, we'll move on to game number 2 really shortly. We'll just wait for the players. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. And yeah.